Bienvenidos to Pica Poco Kitchen. Today we're making tacos gobernador, the governor's tacos. Vámonos! February is here. January felt long for some reason. But that gave me time to think of which recipes to bring for you during this month. And one of the first one that came to mind was this one, maybe because its peculiar origin story. Tacos Gobernador were born in 1990s when Eduardo Angulo, the owner of a famous Sinaloan restaurant, Los Arcos, was visited by the state's governor. At that time, La Bastida. The governor came in and asked to be pleasantly surprised with the food. So the owner came into the kitchen, mixed some ingredients, only knowing that the governor really liked shrimp. And from that experiment, he came out with one of the most spectacular seafood tacos there are, at least in my opinion. He presented the food to the governor and he loved them. He asked what the name of the dish was, and cleverly, Eduardo responded, Tacos Gobernador. Of course, he wanted to be in the good graces of the governor. Tacos Gobernador are an amazing combination of flavors that balance each other really well. Between the smokiness, spiciness, creaminess, highlight the very well-loved flavor of shrimp. I really love them and I hope you enjoy them as well. So, let's get to it. To prep my poblano peppers, first I need to deseed them and deskin them. And to do that, I like to make a T-shaped cut near the top of my pepper in order to insert my knife and remove the seeds and veins of it. I show you how to do this in my video of chiles rellenos. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and do so because I also go more in depth about poblano peppers and why I like to use this technique. In this case, I'm going to be using my poblano peppers to do some rajas, so I really don't need to be as careful as I was in that video because I don't need to keep the integrity of the pepper as much. So carefully cut near the top of the little heart of seeds that it's in the top of your pepper, and with your fingers remove it, and then go ahead and try to pinch out all the remaining veins if you find them. To remove the extra seeds, just give your pepper a little shake and the seeds will come out easily. Don't be too worried about removing all of them. You can remove them later, or if some of them stay, it's gonna be just fine. So let me do that with the remaining peppers. And also don't forget to save those seeds because you can put them in a little paper towel, let them dry, and then you can use them to grow some poblano peppers yourself. So it's always a good idea to keep your seeds. Set your oven at 400 Fahrenheit. Drizzle oil over your peppers and rub them well all around. Put them in and take them out after 6 to 8 minutes to flip them over and put them back in the oven. After another 6 to 8 minutes, take them out. Now that they're roasted and blistery all over, we need to make them sweat. So let's create a sauna for the peppers. As soon as they come out of the oven, put them in a little bowl and cover it with plastic. Set an alarm for 10 minutes and then we're ready to deskin. Take one pepper at a time. With the help of a knife, lift the skin off and then use your fingers to peel it off. Go all around your peppers, lifting as much skin as you can. You don't have to be very meticulous. If you're gonna use your peppers to fill them, then be careful with the flesh. But if you're making rajas just like in my case, then don't worry about that too much. Once you have peeled most of the skin, it's gonna look just like this. While I was waiting for my peppers to be roasted, I started making my tortillas. I always start with 1 cup of masa and 1 cup of warm water. Dough it with your hands and get a feel of it. Sometimes you might need more water, so add as you go, a little at a time. Dough it until it's even and smooth. When your dough is ready, shape it into a bowl, use some plastic to cover it, and let it relax between 10 to 15 minutes before making your tortillas. After that time has passed, get your pan hot and grab a piece of your dough. Make a testal, rolling it around your fingers, and with a tortilla press, press evenly until you get the size and thickness that you desire. Then carefully place it over your pan and wait a little bit. Once you're able to move the tortilla around, it's ready for the first flip. After a couple of minutes, get it ready to flip back again, and now tap it, preferably using a spatula, and watch it inflate. After a few more minutes, turn it around just for one last time for a few seconds, and your tortilla is ready. Keep your tortillas warm by wrapping them in a kitchen towel, and the steam will make them soft and nice until we're ready to use them later. To prep the shrimp, you just need to shell it and devein it. I learned this little trick to remove the tail without breaking it. Look at that. So I'm using jumbo shrimp, half a pound of it. So I'm gonna chop it into smaller pieces so it's nicer when you buy the taco. To that, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika just to give it a little color and a hint of flavor. Wrap them and keep them in your fridge until we're ready to cook them. For my version of these tacos, I like to use 1/4 cup of mayo and 1 chipotle. Everybody has their own version. Some people use cream cheese or cream, but believe me when I say it, mayo brings a flavor that you wouldn't get otherwise. Give that sauce a good mix and set it aside because we're going to be using it later. In a hot pan with 1 tablespoon of butter and oil, I'm gonna cook 1/4 of an onion and 1 garlic clove finely diced until they're nice and clear. Into that, I'm gonna add 1 cup of chopped Poblano rajas, and I'm gonna let that flavor coat all around the pan by giving it a good mix. Now let's add 1 cup of diced tomato. Any kind you have is gonna be fine. And we want to really cook the tomato until it breaks down, releases its juices, and becomes really soft. So wait for a few minutes until you start seeing more liquid in your pan. And as soon as we have the tomato exactly where we want it, we're gonna add the shrimp. Cooking your shrimp will take just a couple of minutes. As soon as it changes color, it's time to turn off the heat because overcooked shrimp becomes tough, gummy, and nasty. Once that happens, turn your heat off and add some of your sauce. The sauce will melt with the remaining heat of the rest of your ingredients. And don't forget to leave some of that sauce because we're going to use it in a minute. Make sure to mix well, incorporate everything together, and once that's done, set it aside and remove it from the heat. For my tacos, I like to use a grill because it leaves nice markings, but you can use a regular pan and your tacos will end up equally delicious. Take a tortilla and remember that tortillas have two sides. So we're gonna put the fillings on the belly of the tortilla. So on the back, we're gonna add some of that sauce and that's gonna help caramelize and fry our tacos. set that down on your pan and add any cheese of your choosing. I like to use mozzarella because that's the one that I have at home, but you can use Chihuahua or quesillo or any other cheese of your preference. And these tacos wouldn't be Gobernador without the governor's filling. So add a generous amount of your shrimp mixture worthy of a governor. Well, no, wait, because that depends on who your governor is. Okay, worthy of yourself. Carefully fold your tacos and let them fry until they're nice and golden. And then they're gonna be ready to serve. And here you go. Don't tell me you're not hungry already. And here we have them. This is my rendition of Tacos Gobernador. Of course, if you want to have the OG tacos and you're planning a trip to Mexico, find a Los Arcos restaurant and try them there. In the end, those are the authentic ones. I highly recommend it. But if you don't have any plans to travel in the near future and you still want to enjoy this wonderful dish, follow my video and make them and tell me what you think because they rank really high in my top 10 tacos. So let's give them a try. Mm. Hmm. This is serious business right here. Oh, I can't even start describing it. You really have to try them. They are wonderful. So there you go. Thank you for watching. And if you like this recipe just like this video, please share it with your friends. Like, subscribe, and be notified. And for more, follow me on the socials. Adios, amigues.